It's an interesting tradition that tells us that there's an actual connection between the fast day of Yom Kippur, which thankfully was so meaningful on so many levels, people who worked so hard to make sure that everybody could pray in a safe and welcoming and nurturing environment. And we're going to be moving into the holiday of Sukkot in just a few days. And what is the connection between the two? One is so somber and so serious with fasting, and one is so happy and joyous, hopefully this year as well, but usually with dancing, with singing, with just reflecting on the bounty that we receive as individuals, as farmers back in the day, that kind of thing. What's the connection between the two holidays, and why do they follow one immediately after the other? And the answer is because in the event that we would be decreed for exile on Yom Kippur, we can go into the sukkah a few days later and have our exile, which is like going out of the house, that kind of thing, and into the hut. The question is, why should we worry specifically about exile? And if exile is in fact the decree, why would the sukkah take care of that? It's so pleasant and comfortable compared to real exile. And at its core, the answer is because exile is about humility. It's about us being arrogant beforehand. It's about us not recognizing God as our source, and as a result of that, needing to go into exile to recalibrate, needing to go into exile to reassess our values, to reassess our connection, and to start again. And that unfortunately has been the purpose of the longer protracted exile that we find ourselves in for nearly 2,000 years at this point. But at its core, that's what exile is supposed to teach. And so to the degree that we still have an element of arrogance within us on Yom Kippur, God says, go out into the sukkah, look up into the schach, look up into the sky, see the source of all the bounty and all the goodness that is me, as in God, connect with that, and then you won't have to do any more. And I think that this is such a powerful lesson on so many levels, not only religiously for those who are going to be observing the holidays, but just in general. Arrogance is not our friend. Arrogance is something that gets in the way time and again of what we really want to accomplish. And we put our own needs first, and we worry about how is it going to look if we, quote, humble ourselves and do something that is maybe not in our perceived best interest at the moment in order to accomplish something bigger. And I think the pandemic has really taught us about being selfless. It's really taught us about putting others first. Has really taught us about not just thinking about our own comfort and convenience and things like that, but really thinking about the needs of other people, health-wise and otherwise. And I think that this year, more so than ever, this lesson is so powerful, so pertinent, and so important for us to internalize. Think others first, work on your connections, whatever it takes for you to change your mindset so that the relationships you have with other people take other people into consideration first, that you are a servant in your leadership. These are powerful lessons, and I wish everyone during this time of transition from the somberness, if you will, of Yom Kippur and the elation that comes from being forgiven to the true joy of connecting with God and connecting with others. I wish everybody a most joyous holiday season, and may this be a season of turnaround for all of us.